morning. It's like 6:15 and it's a Saturday, and I'm one of those people who want to be a 5 a.m. person. And then it's like evening you is wise and the morning you is a fool, or evening you is more ambitious and morning you is tired. So I went to bed at a decent time last night, and I know that I plan to meet my friend to go to the market around 8 this morning, and I wanted time to go to the gym first thing in the morning. So I'm also someone who doesn't like to just go 0 to 60, getting up and then going to the gym, for example. I really enjoy a slow morning, especially on a weekend. I don't know. I try to incorporate a little bit of slowness during the week, but recently I've been really undisciplined and I haven't been going to bed early, so that's not conducive to me getting up early and like making time to make coffee. Because as you have seen, I don't have like a put the pot in, press the button coffee maker. And this week was prime big deal days or whatnot. And I overheard a coworker's say that they picked up a new coffee machine, and I'm like, do I need to pick up a new coffee machine? And I mean, the answer is no, I don't need to, because I have a perfectly good process to make coffee. It just takes a little bit of time, and it makes good coffee. But sometimes I wish I just had like a pop a pot in, press the button, add my milk and honey. But it's fine. Sometimes I think we do need to just appreciate the finer things in life, the slow things in life. Sometimes that's what it is. Sometimes it's the little things that we can find joy in, the little processes. And so made coffee, did a little bit of cleanup in the kitchen, and then I sat down and read my Bible. Just a chapter this morning. I've been listening, I'm a slower reader, so lately during the week I'll just turn on my audio Bible and drink my coffee, because I can't be drinking while I'm reading. I'm not saying it's an excuse. It's just a method that I am currently using to get God's word into my ears, into my mind, into my heart. And I've been listening to the Psalms, and I've really been I've been feeling like I need to go back to the Gospels. And for a long time, if you aren't familiar with the Gospels, so the Bible, how it's broken up, how I heard someone say it, and I really liked this, was in order of front to back, the Bible. Jesus is coming, Jesus is here, Jesus is coming back. And the Gospels are when Jesus was here on earth. And so if you are new to the Bible and you're interested in, well, where do I start? Or if you are someone who goes to church, who is following Jesus, or is new to following Jesus, or has been going to church but has never been reading their Bible, because I grew up going to church, but I didn't grow up reading my Bible consistently, hardly ever reading my Bible. And so where to start? And especially for someone who's not familiar with the gospel of Jesus, you can start in any of the gospel books, which are Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Some people will say Matthew. They're all great. It's the same. This is where some people are the Bible has inconsistencies. Well, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. These are the perspectives. These are different people's perspectives. It's the same story. They just see it. I mean, you go to a crash site accident, people are looking from different directions. They saw the same thing, but they're going to tell a slightly different story. Not going to quite get into that, but I personally would start with John. I like John. That's hard to say. It's not like I don't like the other ones. But something that I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. I'm just going to read a few verses, because sometimes in your journey with Christ and reading the Bible, sometimes you read something and it just doesn't make sense. But God's word is living, and there are certain things that the Holy Spirit will point out to you, or as you grow in your maturity and your faith, you'll see different things, or you'll understand different things in a different light, maybe. And what I'm going to read may sound weird, but I think it's fascinating. So, in the beginning was the Word, capital W, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. And then I'm going to skip to verse 14. And the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. There's like mystery around the Bible, but it's not mystery in like, oh, we don't understand what that means, but it's just the Word. Like, the Word is living. Like, we consider the Bible, the scripture, the Word, inspired by the Holy Spirit. And just how John, the book of John, refers to Jesus as the Word. It's just, and again, if you are not a follower of Jesus, or if you're a young Christian, might be like, that don't make no sense. But regardless, it seems a little poetic right there in the beginning of chapter 1, but the rest of the book goes into the story of following Jesus through his life here on earth. So starting with his adult life. Long story short, I just read the first chapter, but sometimes I beat myself up for sometimes I feel like I need to read more. But also sometimes I don't want to get caught up in being like, I need to read more. Like, I just need to consume. Sometimes just reading smaller portions and meditating on that. Because for me, if I read a bunch at one time, sometimes I forget like what I read at the beginning, and I'm not able to meditate and think about what I did read as much. So anyway, it's good to start your day with God's word. But if you don't, you can read God's word any time of day. Sometimes there are days where I don't get into it, but especially in the past year or two, I've been really making a point to be in God's word at some point. Maybe I'll just turn on my audio Bible when I'm driving to work, but just something to set my mind and my heart right before I start the day is my goal. But I'm going to drink some more coffee. I'm really hot right now. I should have put on some shorts. I don't know what time it is. It's probably 6:20, 6:30, going on 6:30. I want to, like I said, get to the gym, and then I just want to take you along my Saturday/weekend with me. So I'm gonna go to the market. I want to pick up some coffee. I can order my coffee online, but the coffee I get comes to my market. The vendor comes to my market, and so I ordered their coffee once, like the same coffee that I always get, and it wasn't good. Like, it had the roasting date. It wasn't like super old or stale, but it tasted stale. I've never had that before, but every time I get it at the market, it's good. So I'm gonna get some coffee because I just emptied my bag this morning. I'm going to get some honey. I want to get some meat from one of the semi-local vendors. I want to get the dog a new antler. Maybe if there's like a dog treat antler bone vendor that comes sometimes. So if they're there, I think I'd like to get a new antler. If not, there's a local like feed store that has antlers, but I like to support, they're both small businesses, so either way it's gonna be fine. It's just more convenient than having to drive to the feed store. Yeah, we'll see who else is there. Kind of just the necessities today. But it is October. We're headed towards the middle of October now. Yeah, it's October 12th. So I have my autumnal coffee, one of my autumnal coffee mugs. This was a gift from a friend. I don't know, they probably got it from like Home Goods, or yeah, it's probably Home Goods. But it has like the leaves on it. And what else are we gonna do today? I feel like in a lot of my videos we're just cleaning, but you get me on the weekend, and weekend is when I do a lot of cleaning. But today I want to do some content stuff. So for my other YouTube channel, Recipes with Ray, I have a podcast to record. I have it all scripted. So I'm going to be talking about like what is apple pie spice. And it seems pretty straightforward, but like I get a little bit, not really into the weeds, but I get a little bit into the details of it and like recipes you can use it for. And so I can link that down below if you're interested, but I really want to, since that's all scripted, that should be a pretty quick recording session. Like the setup and the teardown of camera, microphone situation will probably take as long as recording the podcast itself. So I should be able to do that within an hour. I want to get that edited and uploaded this weekend. So, and then I want to record a couple of recipes. So Recipes with Ray, I do mainly recipes, but I have the podcast too, the Recipes with Ray podcast. But for recipes, I want to film a copycat pumpkin cream recipe. So like for the Starbucks pumpkin cream cold brew, but like a copycat of the pumpkin cream. So for that, I also need to go to the grocery store. If this goes into Sunday, if the weather's nice, I might go to buy some pumpkins, because either way, I am ready to decorate. I wasn't ready for autumn early this year. So might get some pumpkins to decorate outside, and then I might get some little pumpkins to decorate inside. I definitely need to meal plan for this week because I didn't meal plan very well last week. And yesterday I had to stop at the store on my way to work to get some like frozen, some frozen meals, and some other food. So I had food at work because I don't usually like go out to eat for lunch. And then last night I had like a frozen pizza and some broccoli. And that was fine, but if you're new here, I have a history with disordered eating, and last night, like I didn't binge, but I was very tired. Like I was editing this the last video for this channel, and I was very tired, and I had some chores to finish up, and I ate. Like I said, it wasn't a binge, but I ate more food than like I knew I should have, because like I don't know, sometimes I see the nutrition information, and I'm like, that's how many calories are in this much of this food. And like I was kind of beating myself up for it. And I woke up this morning and like I didn't remember, like I wasn't really stressed about it right away. And then I was thinking about it a little bit, and I'm like, just remember, you can't undo it. It was one night, you didn't binge. Yes, you ate more than you needed to. Like you were full, but you still ate more. And it's fuel. Like I'm going to the gym this morning. For some reason, like if I eat a lot of pizza like the day before, I have a really strong workout. And so that's going to be good. And I'm going to be walking around today. And so it's just a reminder that for you guys, if you struggle with your relationship with food or your body image, how you eat one night is not going to impact the long run. It's how you eat consistently that makes the most difference. And another reason why I think I've been struggling with like my mindset about food is I didn't have good food options in the house. Like I didn't have a lot of fruits and veggies. I didn't have a lot of like lean meat options. I didn't have a lot of meat options at all. And so like I didn't have like food and snacks ready, so there's been just like a lot of sugar and a lot of carbs and not much fruits and veggies. And so I think just making my grocery list, meal planning, and tomorrow/today I definitely want to just either prep the ingredients or make at least one or two, probably one meal that I can like take a few days for lunch next week, and just have food options for me to eat like when I come home from church tomorrow morning, so that I'm not just like scavenging and eating random things out of the cupboard. So with that, I'm gonna sit for a few more minutes and then I'm going to get dressed and head to the gym. How did you sleep?
I belong to you. I belong to you. Do just what you want. You're the one I trust. And I always be around when I need some loving, baby. No one else. Yeah.
Just got back from the market, and there's a meat vendor. Sometimes they have eggs, milk, butter, and I have a treat for you. Hold on. You just went potty outside, so you're fine. You have water, you have food, but I have a treat for you. Come here. They have pig ears and like, I know you can smell it. And sometimes there's an antler place there, and she likes antlers. She likes antlers, and she has some nubs left of antlers, but I wanted to get her new one, but they weren't there. So for $2, I got you a pig ear. Sit. Pause. Oh, those are excited. Pause. Turn around. Turn around. Other way. Yeah, all the way out. Sit. Okay. Bye. Num, num, num. Okay, so what I got? I got a bag of coffee from the meat place where I got her pig ear. I got some kielbasa sausage. I'm used to it being in a loop shape. It's frozen, so I don't want to touch it. I got some kielbasa sausage. Are these? It's starting to thaw a little bit. And then I got a whole chicken because I figured they had breasts and thighs, and it's more expensive per pound. And I know you're paying for bones too, but it's just a lot cheaper because they don't have to go and cut up the chicken. They just decapitate and pluck it. So I'm either gonna roast this or stick it in the crock pot. The temperatures are cool enough where I don't mind roasting it. So there's that. I got a 2-pound jar of honey. If you hear crunching, the dog has decided to eat her breakfast. And I always get raw honey, and this is pretty local to me. And I go through a lot of honey. And I am going to a pumpkin patch, I think tomorrow, but there was one pumpkin, well, there was at least one of the pumpkin sellers had really unique pumpkins. Look at how cute. They're called hybrid. It almost looks fake. I promise it's not. It's right here. And like, so I'm very excited. I also don't want someone to steal it. That would be upsetting, but he's cute. So I went straight from the gym to the market because I knew there wasn't going to be enough time. And my friend texted me that she was on her way when I was still at the gym. So I wrapped it up real quick and then I went and met her. And so I haven't showered yet, but I think I might take this opportunity to finish mowing the lawn, because I did the backyard Wednesday after work. So I think I'm just gonna do the front and the sides and be done with that for the day. And then I might first take the dog for one of these because she's a little excited right now. So I need a little bit of a snack because all I've had is a ham and cheese croissant and a iced chai latte. And I think I need some food before I expend any more energy. Brunch of champions. I'm gonna have, why are you looking at me like that? Cottage cheese and a Rice Krispie treat. And then we'll go for a WALK. You had your pig ear and you have breakfast. Went for a walk, and even though I'm not taking a shower, I'm gonna wash my face, and I use the Toups & Co. Sea Buckthorn Cleansing Oil. And the reason I wanted to try this was like, my face gets dry from other cleansers, and I just thought maybe this would, I don't know, I wanted to try something new, and I currently have no reason to think that I'm gonna try something else. So I used to just wash my face with warm water and a washcloth, like just gently exfoliating, and that was fine. But why did I want to try this? Like sometimes I needed a soap because like prone to breakouts. That's why I'm washing my face even though I'm not taking a shower. It's because I sweated this morning, and when I sweat and I don't wash my face right away, and it's been a minute, I should have washed it right when I got home. My face, the oils make my skin more acne prone, so washing my face. Either way, this, like, it's not scrubby, but it exfoliates. Like, it breaks down like the grease and the grime, while at the same time like helping maintain my natural moisture barrier. So a lot of cleansers strip your skin of all oils, good or bad, and not all of your skin oils are bad. Like, they help. Your skin is your largest organ. It helps keep your skin supple and stretchy and blah, blah, blah. And so oil cleansing can help with that. And I thought, oh, it's oil. You don't like wash it off. You just gently wipe it off. I think I heard one skin lady say you're supposed to emulsify it. And I'm like, with what? So I just do a warm washcloth and gently wipe it off. But you can kind of like pamper your face a little bit. Give yourself just a little massage on the temples, around the eyes. And this has not led to more breakouts on my skin, but I understand everyone's skin is different. So I decided, like, yes, I'm gonna take a shower later, but I just was kind of craving a clean face. You know, when your face is kind of dirty and just want to clean it. That's what I wanted to do. I put a load of laundry in the washer. If you see that my washcloth is a little bleached, it's because I used to use some cleansers that had benzoyl peroxide in it, and that bleaches things. I would like to get new washcloths that aren't bleached, but this is where we're at. They still work. I also put in an order for pickup at Aldi, and I need to make a stop at the other grocery store for a few things that Aldi doesn't carry. So my pickup is supposed to be ready by like 12:45, so I have an hour. Same with this towel, bleached because benzoyl peroxide. Also gonna use sunscreen because I've been slacking after I rinse out the sink. Like, I can see the grime that came off the washcloth in the water that I had put in the sink to wet my washcloth. So it works. Don't know how, but it works. And this one smells really good. It sounds flowery, but it kind of smells like Fruity Pebbles a little bit. Hold on. So there's organic jojoba oil, sea buckthorn oil, organic castor oil, and essential oils of magnolia flower, neroli, and grapefruit. Anywho, sunscreen, and should have enough time to mow the front yard. And then we'll run to the stores, and then I'll give you a grocery haul. I have some cold brew because I'm making pumpkin cream. So it's supposed to go on top of cold brew, and I didn't want to make it myself. I could make it myself. You can make it in a French press, and I have a coffee grinder, and for cold brew, you're supposed to use coarse grind, so I can control the grind, but I didn't do it. So I bought some. Milk, whole milk, butter for baking, butter for everything besides baking, Irish butter, sweetened condensed milk because this is an ingredient in the recipe I have for the pumpkin cream. I didn't expect this to be an ingredient. I thought it was just going to be like cream, pumpkin pie spice, frothed. Guess not. Frozen blueberries, frozen strawberries, celery because I decided I am going to put the chicken in the crock pot today, even though it's still partially frozen. And I have some parsnips, whatever the white ones are. Yeah, turnips are purple and round. Parsnips are white and longer. And some carrots with the chicken. Green onion. I've realized that when I want to use green onion, I like a lot of green onion, but this is a lot of green onion, so we've got work to do. It's just something that's great to put on top of almost anything savory. Delicious. I guess I didn't realize how to order bananas for curbside. So I clicked the bananas and I thought I'd be like a bunch of bananas. They gave me one banana. That's hilarious. Some ginger. I plan to make some Korean beef, and freshly ground ginger is a game changer. Some sweet yellow onions, gum, strawberries. Oh, nice. Good. I am really worried about having someone else pick out produce for me sometimes, but they did a good job. And then at the other store, I got some natural peanut butter because I've been getting Aldi's natural peanut butter, the non-stir stuff, because I don't like the stuff that Aldi sells, the truly natural, just roasted peanuts and salt where the oil separates. I don't care for the flavor of that. So I've been getting the no-stir creamy, and it's okay, but I'm craving this Smucker's. I used to think Smucker's was salty, and now I'm like, no, it's good. I got 2 cans of pumpkin. I really only needed 1, but I thought I'd stock up because someone at work requested I make the pumpkin chocolate chip muffins that I brought in a month or 2 ago. So I need a can for that. And then I got broccoli florets. I really hope these are cut smaller. All these broccoli florets are just like teeny tiny or like massive. There's no uniformity in the cut of those. And I'm so disappointed. I specifically went to the other store because I wanted a 16 ounce bag of broccoli florets, and they only had 12 or 32 ounces. And I could have got the 32 ounces, but cream for the pumpkin cream and whole milk plain Greek yogurt. I forgot to put it in my Aldi order, so I just picked it up at the other store. I'm gonna put this away. I'm gonna make a smoothie. That's partially why I wanted the Greek yogurt, because I put it in smoothies. I've started putting it in smoothies more often. And then I'm gonna shower, and then I think I'm gonna get into some content stuff. Just finished filming 2 pieces of content. So I did spying on people walking. Just finished filming what is apple pie spice. I'm eating caramelized onion hummus with tortilla. And I filmed homemade Starbucks copycat pumpkin cream. I don't know when it's gonna go up. This weekend I'm putting up the podcast episode, and then probably next weekend I'll do the pumpkin cream. So I am going to clean up. I want to put dishes in the dishwasher. I want to clean off my dining room table. I have a few things laying around that I just want to clean up because that'll make me feel better. And then I plan to vacuum the couch and Swiffer the floors, and then I'm ready for fall since I got a pumpkin today. I made pumpkin cream. I'm gonna light a candle. I'll show you which one it is. It smells really good. And I'm going to put on You've Got Mail. It's a perfect, I don't think it's a summer movie for me. I think it's an every other season movie for me, but especially fall. It's so they go from autumn to winter to spring, so that's why I think it's not a summer film. But I'm gonna put that on in the background while I edit and get into the fall spirit. And I think we're 3 weeks away from Thanksgiving, from Halloween. So I'm not too late to get into the swing of things, but I think last year I was ready for October, fall, autumnal things a lot earlier, but I got there. And then, as you would have seen, I have my chicken cooking in the crock pot, and I think that's gonna take a little while, so dinner might be quite late, which is fine because it's 4:30 right now. I'm gonna have a snack. I reckon I'll probably have another snack later before the chicken's done because it was frozen. So I'm thinking 8 o'clock would be dinner time, which is fine.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mountain laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and a hummingbird wing.
Good morning. Happy Sunday. It's just after 6:30. I have a pumpkin cream cold brew. I read a couple chapters in my Bible. I have a little fall ambiance on the TV per usual. It just makes it a little bit extra cozy. I am going to finish my coffee and then get ready and go to the gym. But today after church, I'll probably have a couple hours to myself still, and so it's the debate of, I have like 3 loads of laundry to fold. I did a little bit of kitchen cleanup this morning from last night. Oh, let me tell you about the chicken. So the chicken was smaller, but it was frozen when I put it in the crock pot for the most part. And so I put a ton of veggies in the chicken, I seasoned it and everything, and that was in the crock pot on high for at least 6 hours. And if it were a thawed chicken, 6 hours would have been plenty. But I got it out. I used my meat thermometer. It was up to temperature. I checked the breast meat and it was 164. But like just 164. So I'm like, 164 is 164. So I got the chicken out. I knew that I wasn't gonna wanna, I had onion, celery, parsnips that I had diced up and put in the crock pot as well. And I was gonna blend those to like a mash. And those taste, so I did that. And I got those, they tasted pretty good. The texture isn't the best, but I think that's just because the celery and the onion are more fibrous, and so is the parsnip. Either way, won't be taking that route again, but I added a lot of butter, some salt and pepper, a little bit of cream. The flavor is good. And then I cut off a bone. I cut off a leg and a thigh, and the meat was a little pink still. And I know the leg and the thigh is dark meat, but I'm used to seeing like more, I don't want to say gray, but gray versus white, as like you look at a chicken breast versus the dark meat. And it took me a long time to immersion blend all the veggies, and I had the windows open in the kitchen, so by the time I got to the chicken, like I cut a piece and it was like warm, it wasn't hot. I mean, the chicken had been sitting out for I don't know, it could have been 15 minutes, and the texture was fine. Like it felt cooked, but then I put my lips to a couple different parts on the leg and it felt cold, and so I was like, I don't feel comfortable eating this. So I put it back in the crock pot for an hour, and I had a quesadilla for dinner. And so the chicken should be cooked now, but haven't really eaten much of it. So the plans for today, it's almost 7 o'clock. I'm gonna finish my coffee, get dressed, go to the gym. Depending on the time I come back, I have a recipe for pumpkin pancakes, and I currently have some pureed butternut squash. So I thought I might use that in my quote pumpkin pancakes, because if you know what makes pumpkin things like taste like pumpkin is the spices. So if I have time, I'll make some autumnal pancakes. And then after church, I have curtains that I would like to hang in my study. And if you have been following me on Instagram, I put like more house stuff on my stories. And so I've had my curtain rods and I've had my curtains for quite a while now, but I've been nervous to hang them. And because I want them to be level, and like, do you need to put them into studs? Do you need to secure the curtain rod into studs? So I borrowed my friend's stud finder, and the curtain rod isn't exceptionally heavy. It is metal, but it's not heavy. The curtains aren't heavy, and I don't know if there's going to be a stud exactly like 10 inches past the window trim. And so I'm gonna see. If not, I think I'll be fine. I've never hung curtains. I could probably look it up on the internet and it'll be fine. But I feel like that's gonna take me a while because I want them to be level. I need the spacing to like be perfect from the ground, so they're not, because I want them to kiss the floor. I don't want them to puddle on the floor, but I don't want them to look like high waters. I have expectations. I have plans. I don't know if we'll get there. So hopefully that doesn't take the whole 2 hours. And then I'm pretty sure I need to cook another meal today because the chicken is fine, but maybe I can use the chicken meat to make something specific, because Even though that veggie mash tastes good, like I said, the texture's different, and I can't eat that for lunch and dinner all week. I can't do it. Just got back from church. I did not make breakfast. I had, what are you whining about? You have food? We just went potty. You have water. Oh, you want to play? You want pets? Do you need attention? Yeah. Okay. You need to be brushed. How about you go brush yourself? How about you do it? What do you think of that? No, don't like that idea. I have to make food. You're gonna get a lot of playtime later. I'll put you back outside. I had 2 Rice Krispie treats on the way to church, or before I took a shower and then on the way to church. I am very hungry now, so I'm gonna make, I think, hash browns and pancakes. And I'll have a couple fried eggs with the hash browns, and the pancakes will be good to heat up for a quick breakfast in the morning during the week. So, let me wash my hands and put a few things away and we'll do that. Let's get the hash browns going. At least medium heat. Flame is on. I need to plug my phone in. Plenty of butter. You could use oil. I'm gonna chop an onion. I do put a lot of onion in these because I like it. It's flavor. Flavor. Season as you go. My tummy is rumbling, not in a bad way. Again, season your potatoes, salt and pepper, stir it all together, and then we don't touch it. If you struggle making hash browns at home, you gotta stop stirring them so much. And if you cook them too high, they'll burn. So it needs, for me, everyone's stove is a little different, whatever burner you're using. I just wanna get these all coated. A little bit of butter. Level them out. Mine's just above medium heat for me. And don't touch them. I just got telling you guys all about how good church was today, and I hadn't even pressed record, so take 2. Okay, we're making pancakes. I use whole wheat and all-purpose flour. So 1/2 cup of all-purpose. So we were in the book of Luke, the story of the Good Samaritan, and I don't know if everyone knows the story about the Good Samaritan, but there's a man. Then we need 1 cup of whole wheat flour. On his way between Jerusalem, somewhere in Jericho, starts with a J. And he is attacked by robbers. They rob him and beat him half to death. And then there's a priest that sees him and goes way around him to avoid him. Then there's a Levite who sees him and goes around him. And then there's a Samaritan who goes and helps him and puts him on his donkey and brings him to the nearest inn and cares for him overnight and leaves him for the innkeeper to take care of until he passes back through town. So that's not something that really happens, especially in America these days, but back then it did. Well, the Samaritan did. And our pastor was just talking about the differences in the mindsets between the robbers, the priests and Levites, and the Samaritan. Now, the important part about the Samaritan is they were despised by the Jews. I don't know why, but they were. We need 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 2.5 teaspoons. What? No. 1 teaspoon of baking soda, which I just put in, and 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder. I had put baking powder in first in place of the baking soda, so it's fine. All worked out. 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon nutmeg, 1/2 teaspoon ginger, mix. And the mindsets were, for the robbers, is what's yours is mine. With the priests and the Levites, it was what's mine is mine. Like, what will happen to me if I help him? Instead of, like the Good Samaritan, what's mine is yours. What will happen to him if I don't help him? And this is on the topic of the church being a community and compassion for one another. Yes, we're called to love one another, even people who aren't followers of Jesus, but especially within the church, we need to be serving one another. And none of this is new. It's just a good reminder. Oh, I think we need to... a little worried? Please don't be burnt. Oh. No. See, you really gotta watch these. Else this is what happens. And burn char flavor just penetrates an entire dish if you leave it in. So I'm gonna take some of it out. And we're gonna put cheese in there. Hopefully that will cover up some of the flavor. Maybe don't do two things at once. It's so easy to be selfish, especially in today's day and age when social media is so prevalent and you're being advertised left and right and we want what other people have. But everything we have is a gift from God. Every good thing is from above. We don't deserve any of it. It's a blessing. And you don't have to agree with me. I think these are somewhat salvaged. I'm going to turn them down just a tiny bit. Now back to our pancakes. So I make a little well. I push the dry ingredients to the side once I've mixed them in. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of oil, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, precision, 1 cup of milk. You can use any milk. I'm using whole milk. If it's a little warmer, that would be better. Or if you give your batter time to warm up, which is what we're going to do. I'll tell you about it. 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. 1 cup of pumpkin puree or squash puree. So a sweeter squash might be better. I'm just going to put this whole jar in. Where's my spatula? Look how bright yellow. That's fun. That's quite a bit extra, but it's okay. It's fine. 2 eggs. I'm gonna go turn my hash browns off. Oh man, this was not a good pan. Well, that's okay. Yeah, see that nice golden? That's what you want. That's what we're looking for, right there. So I'm gonna turn my heat off, and that side will cook just a little bit more. So I'm gonna break my egg yolks, and I'm just gonna mix the stuff in the middle, those wet ingredients, before I intentionally start mixing in the dry ingredients. The dry ingredients will stay to the side for a little while you're just mixing in the middle. You wanna break up, again, those eggs, that brown sugar. Try to get the wet ingredients relatively well mixed before you start folding in your flour mixture. And then you can just fold. Here's the thing. If you make pancakes at home and you want fluffy pancakes instead of chewy pancakes, do not overmix. Do not worry about lumps in your batter. You can do this. You can do whatever you're gonna do, but I don't recommend putting this in a blender. Got some egg that needs to be mixed in. So scrape your sides, scrape the bottom, and right now, what is this? There's a chunk of butternut squash that didn't get blended. That's funny. That would have been an unpleasant surprise. With that extra bit of butternut squash, this is a little thinner than I prefer. So I'm gonna add maybe a 1/4 cup of flour just to thicken it. Oh, do I have another lump of butternut squash? I do. There we go. Some of these I'm gonna make plain and some of them are going to be chocolate chip. Trust me. So this is just going to sit while I preheat my griddle. So that's gonna be a solid 5 minutes. I'm gonna heat it just below high heat because it takes longer for your griddle to truly heat than you think it does. I always use my 1/4 cup measuring spoon to more evenly distribute batter. Now, turn your heat down to medium. Butter your pan if you want. Oh, I think I spotted a... Listen, if you're gonna make your own puree, gotta make sure it's smooth. Anyway, this is gonna make like 12 to 16 1/4 cup size pancakes. So I think I'm gonna make about half plain and half chocolate chip. And then if you're new to pancake making, when they're ready to flip, they're gonna have bubbles all along the top, and the edges are gonna start to look dry. And you can always take a peek under the edge. And if it's golden, now this is a darker batter, so these are naturally gonna be a little darker than your typical restaurant pancakes. And the batter might be thicker than you're used to too, but that's gonna give them a little bit more of a rise, which I like. I like a nice thick fluffy pancake. And then something I'll do if it's not too hot out, I'll preheat my oven to 170, put a oven safe plate or pan in there, and then put these on there in the oven to stay warm until you have all of them made. So I have all of the pancakes are chilling in the oven, and I have the last one. I've been trying to multitask, and when that happens, things cook a little too long. And so this is a chocolate chip one. Let's see the chocolate chips. It's literally right off the griddle. But I had some of the hash browns. So good. This is way too hot. Burning my hands. I want to hang the curtains. Hold on. I want to hang the curtains in the study, and I'm very nervous about it. The measuring and the drilling and all the things. But I know once I do it, I'll be really encouraged. I'll be like, I did it. So that's what I plan to start on after I eat this pancake. I can definitely tell it's not pumpkin, but it's still good. It would be even better with butter and maple syrup, but I have windows open, and when the little critters step on the crunchy leaves, it sounds like someone's outside. What was I saying? Butter and maple syrup. Good morning. So yesterday I ended up hanging the curtains on just one of the windows in the study. Sorry if you're crooked. That took so long, measuring and leveling, and then it said to put the middle support bracket like on the wall for the curtain rod. Well, I measured wrong, and that was too high compared to the outside brackets, but the outside brackets were good, and it's not super wide, and the curtain rod isn't super heavy, and the curtains aren't super heavy, so I just took it out. But now I have plastic screw anchors in the wall, so I need to see if I can get those out before I patch those holes. But either way, and the curtains ended up being like an inch off the ground more than I had hoped, but I think it works out because the dog doesn't go in that room very much because that door's usually closed, but it'll be a lot easier for me to Swiffer under. The curtain won't be sitting in like any little amount of dust or dog hair that's usually in there, so it'll just keep the bottom of the curtain cleaner, and it makes the room feel even taller, so I'm so glad I hung them as high as I did. And so I have a little more confidence for hanging the rest of the curtains, but it took a long time for me to do it. It would be nice to have one of those wall levelers that just shoot the beam across your wall so you don't have to like whatever. But I did it, and now I'm like, do I need to paint the trim around those windows? So another project for another day, maybe next year, we'll see. And then ended up going to the pumpkin patch, and this location I don't know if you can actually go out to the pumpkin patch. They just have all the pumpkins like there for you to look through and pick which ones you want. So I got some pumpkins for the front porch, and then I decided I was going to get the little pumpkins at the grocery store because I figured they'd be a little cheaper, just because I wanted more. So I love supporting a local business, but they got my business for the pumpkins, and then apple cider donuts. They're apple donuts with cinnamon sugar, and they were fresh, they were hot, they were so good. And then I got some apple cider. So put the pumpkins on the front porch, and I'm like, I need more pumpkins. I need like twice as many pumpkins. I got some smaller pumpkins and gourds for the house, so I have some of those around by the TV, and my big fun pumpkin, the hybrid, he has some little friends now, so that's good. And then last night made pork egg rolls, which were okay. Baked them instead of fried them because I'm like, why would I fry them? It's healthier if you just bake them, but I think the frying would have been nice. And the recipe has potential, but I would try a different recipe. So if you have like a good pork egg roll recipe that's like super flavorful, let me know. But I have ingredients to make, I need more pork, but I have more veggie ingredients to make more, so I might do that again later this week. Today is Monday, it's a work day, so just got up, read a chapter in my Bible, had my pumpkin cream cold brew, have a nice little autumn ambiance on the TV, and now I'm going to get ready for work. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for being here today.